Oddly enough, everyone, maybe country is just a very sad and depressing place, but every song that anyone asks for is like, they're the darkest, heaviest, slit your wrist songs that I have. So if you're feeling emotional or whatever and you need to go up and get a drink somewhere through the set, or if it gets too heavy and you need an emotional break, I'll play a kid's song. Once upon a time, in a kingdom ill-defined, the dark-eyed prince sat sideways on his throne, and he cast aside the thoughts of his princess long and lost, decided he'd live principally alone. So he built himself a castle made of stumbling blocks and bricks, and he filled the moat with crocodile tears and other tricks. He forgot to build the doorway, he forgot to build the gate, so he had to build a catapult just to knock the wall away. Venture out at night, bejeweled and erudite, and he'd ride from town to town, farm to farm, and he'd laugh at all the sheep and at the company they'd keep, and he'd burn down all the churches and the barns, until he'd find a proper damsel. Then he'd play the proper prince, and he'd lead her home with apples and a promise on a stick until she'd fall upon the pillow. Then he'd fall upon the dawn, but then he'd close his eyes to hers and then just dream that she was gone. Swore upon the crown that he'd melt desire down, and he boarded up his windows and his eyes, but he still could hear the sound of the rain upon the ground, and he still could feel his face against the sky, and how the birds and how the bees, they each took turns upon their knees, and how to take me if you dare to turn, to thank you if you please, and how the nectar in the flowers, how the flowers on the vine, well, they turn his blood from fever into honey juice and wine. And he knew that it was true in the crumbs that nature threw, and that ever after always ends the tale, and that somewhere in disguise there was a girl with lantern eyes who could fill the darkest shadows with detail. So he'd build another tower just to tear another down, and he'd lay a trail of candles from his castle into town. But if you go there, please be careful, and if you leave there